The training is really very essential in community development and indicating the importance of Parliament within National Assembly members within the community for development purpose.
It exposed me really to advocacy in a very serious way. To some extent I've been involved in advocacy, but I must honestly admit that the training helped to give me many more dimensions on the nature of advocacy. And for example, I found it quite interesting that one of the strategies one can utilize in advocacy is to identify policy champions, to use certain individuals because of their station in life to serve as your message carriers, to serve as the voice and the face of the advocacy. I found it also interesting, the idea of using the primary stakeholder, that is the real decision maker, some other people that also influence the decision maker. For example, the wife of a president, or the mother of a president, or a friend of a minister, or even the girlfriend of an executive director. So I found those things quite interesting. In a large way, the training has been quite relevant to me, and I'm sure when I get back home, I've got so many tips, in message development, crafting your message, in alliance building, also in understanding the policy cycle, about how do I and my organization engage, the various stakeholders, in determining the policy, and which includes monitoring policy. So all of these are tips that I have obtained, which I think are going to be quite useful, and which I'm going to use when I get back.
As a National Assembly member, I still have to put in that link between the National Assembly members, the parliamentarians, and the civil society in particular, because in my seeing, it is still lacking in my country, that the civil society and the parliament are not to that extent of coming together in certain issues. So this is what I'm going to advocate on if I go down, which I have seen is very essential for me to do that.
I will try and collaborate with my parliament, the senior members of the assembly, and influence the authority, realize the importance of advocacy, and then transform this to community-based activity, and then meet the target of the need of the training.
I'm very much impressed, and then the other point is the training, the presenters here, they were well organized, well presented. They presented their training very, very simple and accurate for me.
I think it's a wonderful training. I enjoyed it quite well.
Because we are even initiating for them for them to come to the Gambia, and then we have the trainings with their expertise here to build the capacity of our NGOs and other people down there. Then with the intervention of WACSI, a lot of things can be achieved here in the Gambia.